It's just some kind of activity to get us going. What I want to do today is a quick survey. When you click on that link there, an introductory survey, it'll take you to a Google form where I'm just going to collect everything from your name to whether you took PSI or not last year to what equipment you have so far. So please take some time, answer honestly. I'm going to time us for 10 minutes to complete this. But once I see that we've got 13 responses, I know everyone's done and we'll resume. So I'll time us for 13 minutes. I'll be here listening if you have a question or if you need help figuring anything out. Otherwise, go for it. Please complete that form. 10 minutes. Okay, just checking in. Everyone feeling good? You found the survey, found the tasks list? Don't be embarrassed if you need help. I'm happy to walk you through how to get to it. All right, great. Something I was always intimidated by, and then I started teaching it and found my own passion for it. So, Molly?
I don't know if this necessarily counts, but I put sports medicine, but I also really like physics.
It counts, right? Sports medicine is basically human anatomy and injury treatment. So, Mr. Yamashita offers a whole course in sports medicine. You should definitely consider that your junior year. It's a great course. So, Claudia?
I said biology and anatomy.
Nice. Yeah, I'm actually teaching a whole human anatomy and physiology course this year, which has been fun. First time. And we'll do a little bit of that when we get into the end of the fall semester. Sophia Flores?
I'm really interested in genealogy.
Nice. Like family tree stuff. Get a little bit of genetics in there too. Cool. Sophia Eddington?
I said biology and genetics.
Nice. Yeah. Talk about genetics is one of these like fields that's like rapidly advancing right now. Pretty cool. Angel?
I put biology.
Nice. And how about you, Emily?
I just put chemistry and biology.
Cool. Good. Yeah, both things that'll be a common theme. So I am always passionate about, and I always have been, marine biology. And given where we live, it's a relevant thing to study. And I did a lot of that in school, have my open water diver's license. So really fun thing that I like to learn more about. So, okay, we're just going to play a short sort of silly game called Split Decision. I have a description of it under task number 2 on that list, but I'll walk you through it and then we'll just play a short time here. We're going to use the chat feature. So I need you all to have the chat open. And I'm going to chat to everyone right now. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to ask a yes or no question to the entire class, okay? You don't need to answer it right now, so don't answer anything right now. But I'll ask a question like, do you believe in ghosts, okay? Before you answer yes or no, you have to predict how the entire class is going to answer. right? How many yeses are we going to get? That's what you're trying to figure out, is how many people in our class are going to assume or answer yes. So you can type all, ALL, meaning everyone's going to answer yes in the class. That's what you think. You can type most, which means most of the people in the class will answer yes. Split, which means that if we've got 14 people here, we'll have 7 yeses and 7 nos exactly. Fewer, meaning not as many people answer yes. Or none, meaning no one answers yes. So you're trying to determine how many people will answer yes to that question. So you make your predictions by privately chatting them to me. So as everyone see, when you hit chat in the lower right corner of your Zoom, you can privately chat just to me, Ian Haight. So make sure that you have me listed there in that little blue address thing, and then that's where you're going to be sending it. So we'll just kind of do a trial run right here for this first question. But if I were to pose this question to everyone, do you believe in ghosts? Again, you're not saying yes or no. You're just typing all, most, fewer, or none, or split. What's your prediction for how many people will answer yes? So go ahead and privately chat those to me right now. Good, I see them coming in. All right. Okay, now I'm going to ask the question one more time. This time you're going to answer it. The way that we do this is if you would answer yes, like yes, you believe in ghosts, you're going to raise your hand. If it's a no, you don't believe in ghosts, just don't do anything. Just keep your hands out of the screen. So, do you believe in ghosts? Raise your hand if you do. Don't be embarrassed. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's awesome. All right, 7. And this is a class of 14, so that's actually a split for our first one. So that's anyone who guessed split, you're going to get 3 points. I'll tally up points later. It takes too much time. When I send you off for an activity, we'll do that. So, okay, next question in the chat to everyone here. It's kind of a strange one. Are there enough cats in the world? Do you think there are enough cats in the world? Again, you're going to privately chat to me how you think people are going to respond. All, most, split, fewer, or none. How many people are going to say yes, there are enough cats in the world? All right, looks like most votes are in. We've got some cat lovers here. We have some not big cat lovers here, apparently. Okay, so here's the question one more time. Are there enough cats in the world? If you think, yes, there are enough cats in the world, raise your hand. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey, that's most. So if anyone guessed most, you're gonna get 1 point for that. Again, I'll tally scores up later. All right, 2 more questions. This next one's a bit of a moral question. Again, I'm gonna put it in the chat because this one's a bit longer too. If you couldn't be caught, would you illegally transfer $1 million from your bank into your account? What do you think? Would most people answer yes? Would all people answer yes? Would there be a split? So again, if you couldn't be caught, would you illegally transfer $1 million from your bank into your account and become a millionaire? Come on, guys. You have no faith in humanity here, huh? Everyone just thinks we're all thieves. Well, I guess we'll see when we actually collect the answers. So, okay, be honest. There's no judging here. Okay, one more time to repeat the question. If you couldn't be caught, would you illegally transfer $1 million from your bank account from your bank into your account? Raise your hand if you would say yes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, that is most. At least we have somebody taking the moral high ground here. Good, if you answered most, you will get 1 point for that. Okay, last question. Would you like to be cloned? Do you think everyone in this class would like to be cloned, or most people in this class would like to be cloned, or would there be a split or fewer people? Would you like to be cloned? All right. Looks like most votes are in. So, would you like to be cloned? Raise your hand if you would say yes. Oh my, interesting. All right. No one's interested in meeting themselves in this class. That is a none. So if you guess none, you will get 2 points for that. So I'll tally up the scores while you're off doing another activity. And if I can remember at the end of class, I will declare who the winner was of that game. Thank you. Hope that was a little fun. Told us a little bit about ourselves here in this class. Okay, next thing we're going to do is get down to a little bit of nuts and bolts about the class itself. I'm going to share the screen really briefly here and just kind of continue some of the introductory stuff I did yesterday, but try not to do too much here. So if you have not done so already, please take some time to explore the Science2 Canvas homepage. Oops, I'm on anatomy and physiology here. You need to go to Science2. As I showed you yesterday, I'm going to have announcements at the top. That's how I announce the next class meeting and when homework is due. If you scroll down and visit the little Bitmoji image that's there, there's a variety of useful links there, including the one to my classroom, email, and a couple websites we'll be using. Check those out. If you click on my little cartoon character, it'll actually pull up a little Google Doc that's about me. If any of you are curious, I have a bit of an international upbringing. My father worked for the United Nations, the Food and Agriculture Organization. So I was actually born in Africa. I was born in Nairobi, Kenya. And I lived in Africa until I was 10 years old, in Zambia, and then mostly in Zimbabwe, which is right above South Africa. Left when I was 10 years old in 1996. My dad was sent to Europe. So I actually went to middle school and high school in Rome, Italy. But I went to an American international school, so that's why I don't have an Italian accent. I wish I had an Italian accent, but that didn't rub off. I spent every summer of my life here in California, though, right here in Monterey. This is where my parents are from, so I'm familiar with this area. I have childhood memories of it. But I didn't actually live in the United States until I went to college. I went to a really tiny college in Maine called Bowdoin College. It's the same college that Miss Allen went to, if anyone takes Latin. And I graduated in 2008 with I majored in biology, specifically marine biology. Never thought about teaching, but I joined the Peace Corps. Anyone ever heard of Peace Corps before? It's a volunteer service overseas. It's a government organization. Any college graduates, they'll send you overseas for 2 years and you do some kind of volunteer service. I was sent to a tiny country in West Africa called the Gambia, and I worked in a rural village school. So I was a science teacher and teacher trainer, and spent 2 years doing that. I lived in a hut, no water, no electricity. It was quite the experience. I actually ended up extending for a third year. So I spent a third year in the Gambia, working for Peace Corps and training new volunteers. I met my wife there. She was a fellow volunteer with me. When I got back to the US, I knew I wanted to go into teaching because I really enjoyed it, but I had no credentials or training or anything like that. So I spent a year at a charter school in Boston, getting teacher training and being an assistant teacher. And I got hired at Stevenson back in 2012. Back then I was a biology and chemistry teacher, coached cross country and JV girls basketball. Now I'm teaching this integrated science course. I'm the dorm head of the Wilson boys dorm, Wilson TI. And I'm currently working on a master's at Washington University in St. Louis. I'm almost done. It's been a good experience, and it's given me a lot of stuff that I'm hoping to use in this class. So happy to talk about my background if anyone's curious about that. I've got the goals listed below my little Bitmoji image, collection of links, and I've talked about the tables. But what I want to direct your attention to is the course expectations and policies, the third link from the bottom. If you click on that, it's going to take you to what I actually call the course description. And this is everything that you're going to want to know about Science2. My contact information is there. There's a list of the equipment we'll be using, which you filled out that survey about. If you're curious about how grading is going to work, tests and quizzes are going to be worth 25%, which is the same value as classwork and homework. The more valuable thing actually is going to be labs, projects, and activities. Those are worth 40% of your grade. And we'll do a whole bunch of those throughout the year. So there'll be a good distribution of that. And then participation will be 10%. And what that looks like for me is mostly just making sure you're participating in any online discussions or postings that we're doing, right? I'm hoping to use Canvas discussions, Flipgrid, a variety of different things. And as long as you're posting to those and getting your work done and interacting with each other on those platforms, that'll be your participation grade. So even if you're asynchronous, if you can't attend class, your participation grade won't suffer as long as you're posting to those online forums. When the semester ends, I'm going to take your grade as it stands and count that as 85%. And then the final exam we take at the end of the fall and at the end of the spring will make up the last 15%. And I'll talk more about that when we get to it, but there's just some brief details there. The rest of the course description is mostly just expectations. You're going to be signing your pirate pledge later next week, I think, but please just make sure you're on a computer, being attentive and completing tasks, especially while we're in class. I know it's very easy to get distracted when you're on your computer. I encourage you to keep your computer organized. If you haven't done so already, it's a good idea to make a Science2 folder somewhere on your computer, your desktop, or in your documents. And anything you download for this class, you can just save there, and it's always accessible. It's a good thing to do in your Google Drive, too, to have a little Science2 folder. Then I have a couple little expectations, and then there's all the stuff about academic integrity. And I encourage you to read over that. I'll have you signing an agreement next week. The one thing I will say is I tend to be pretty lenient about stuff, and my number one goal is to help you. So if you're ever feeling like you're unprepared or you're in a corner and you're suddenly like, okay, I'm just going to try to do something that might be against the rules, just contact me and tell me. I will push back assignments. I'll give you extra time on assessments. Whatever you need, just let me know, and we can chat about it and go from there. So any questions on course description? Okay, I'll just share the calendar with you as well. So back on that home page, the last thing to look at is right below at the very bottom. It says Science2B course map. What I did was I made a calendar for the entire fall semester and tried to sort of schedule what I'm hoping to do with each class. So I'm hoping to cover about 5 units worth of material. We're starting off at the Big Bang and galaxy formation. So we're going to do a lot of astronomy and cosmology stuff. Then we're going to zoom into earth science, learn about plate tectonics, earthquakes, how mountains form, that kind of thing. Then we'll go into the sky, talk about the atmosphere, weather, precipitation, and that'll lead naturally into our 4th unit, all about climate and climate change. We'll talk about global warming and carbon footprints and that sort of thing. And then we'll end with a short unit on human circulation and respiration and look at what's going on with mountain climbers and things like that and why air gets thin when you're high up in the atmosphere. And that's hopefully where the fall semester will end. I don't think we're going to follow this calendar perfectly. We're definitely going to probably slow down or speed up in some areas, but it's just a rough estimate of what I think we'll be doing and when we're going to have our key tests and things like that. But I'll always try to keep you updated about that as we go. Any questions on that? All right. And I showed you in our first meeting that I have a discussion board, a little office hours Q&A discussion board. I encourage you to use that if you have questions. And as always, you can email me. I will do my best to respond to you promptly by email. Okay. So that's enough of me talking. I want to now send you guys off to do another little kind of sharing activity, but this is going to take a little time. So you're going to make what's called a Google Slide collage. That's going to be sharing things about your summer, your home, and what was it? Summer, home, and your area of interest. So just to give you an idea of what I'm expecting, this is an example that I made. So this is just a Google Slide with a bunch of images on it. And that's what I mean by Google Slide collage. I'd like you to make one. And again, you're just trying to share about what happened this summer, just something about your home and where you're living, and your area of interest in science, which you shared earlier. So the reason I have the images, so I've got a little just stock image of a person in a suit to represent me. The reason that person's holding a baby is because my wife and I had our 2nd daughter this summer. She was born on June 30th, Piper Haight. So most of my summer was changing diapers and taking care of a baby. That's why I've got a pacifier in my hand too. I have a orange tabby at home named Sam. That's why the cat's there. I have an older daughter who's 2.5 years old, and that's why I've got the bike with the little chair on the back of it. I took her on a lot of bike rides. We like riding in the valley where you see a lot of cows. That's why I got the cow there. Watched a number of different documentaries over the summer, including the ESPN documentary called The Last Dance, which is all about the Chicago Bulls in the 90s. That's why I've got Michael Jordan on the wall behind me. And my area of interest in, this is the wrong, actually, this is human A&P. My area of interest is marine biology. Like I said, I would probably have a picture of a sea turtle and some scuba divers or something up there on the wall to represent that. So on the tasks list, I go back to that. That's step number 4, Google Slide collage activity. So I've got instructions there, but most importantly, there's this link right here, Google Slide collage activity instructions. If you click on that, it'll open up a Google Doc that looks like this. I've got a link to my example slide right there. I've got a link to a video I made of me walking you through how to do this. And I also have a link to all the instructions, literally step by step, step 1 through step 25, which I know looks intimidating, but it's just because I describe everything that you can follow there. So this is what you'll use to build this collage, and we'll spend the next 15 minutes doing that, and then we'll come together to maybe do some shares and conclude class. We are done today at 3 o'clock, so we've got a good amount of time. So everyone able to find the instructions, that Google Doc on the Google Collage? Okay, I'm gonna time us for 15 minutes for you to work on that. If you have questions, I am here listening, so feel free to just chime in and I will do my best to help you out. But otherwise, we'll come back together in 15 minutes, and anyone who feels done enough can start with share. Go for it. How was that? Most of you able to find the images that you needed? Okay, while you were away, I tallied up the points from our little split decision game, and the winner by far was Alex Carroll. Yeah, way to go. 4 points. All right, does anyone feel like their image is complete enough that they would like to share? Start us off with a quick share. We probably only have time for one today. I saw Wiley's hand first. You ready, Wiley?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, give me a minute to pull up your slide here. Sorry, 1 second. Just gonna pull up the actual Google slide itself, which I should be able to just open. Sorry, I already moved yours into my drive, so it's gonna take a few extra clicks. I deleted the email. Okay, I like what I was seeing so far. It's been pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Wiley, this is yours, right?
Yeah, it is.
Cool. All right, tell us about it.
Okay, so that's supposed to be me right there. I couldn't really find anybody that was like swimming or anything, because that's like a big part of my personality and like summer and everything. But so he had to do, and then the pool had two meanings for me because first off, I play water polo, then second off, I also swim, and that was like a big part of my summer, so that's what it represents. And then I added like the balls and the goal for the extra effect, and because I like water polo better than swimming. Swimming is pretty boring. And then those two dogs are supposed to be Rhodesian Ridgebacks. They remind me of my home because they're really big and take up a lot of my house. And their names are Bear and Kira, and pretty big. And then put in this genealogy poster is the science that I'm interested in. So I added that as like a poster board.
Awesome. Do you have a pool like near your house or something that you use for training over the summer?
No, I just go like to the club I'm members at, and then just
Nice.
down in LA.
Cool. And is this a photo of that pool, or is it just a stock image of a pool?
Yeah, it's just a stock image of a pool.
Nice. Yeah, Rhodesian Ridgebacks are good dogs. Big, heavy things. But I had one as a kid growing up as well. So awesome. All right. Well, thanks for sharing. So we'll continue with shares in our next couple classes. We'll start off every class meeting with probably about at least 4 of you sharing. And we'll just go until everyone's had a chance to do it. And then I'll collect all of these slide collages somewhere where you can go look at them too if anyone's asynchronous. So, all right, final thing then is just the homework. If you go back to that tasks to complete list that is on Canvas, on the very bottom is a homework due Tuesday, 9:15. That's when we'll meet again. So please, for Tuesday, make sure you complete your Google slide, including the little written description. You have to do a little write-up on that slot on the bottom that says teacher notes. Take some time to read over the course description and the calendar. You don't have to go into huge detail here, just skim them over. There's good information there. And our first reading assignment is going to be from Bryson, A Short History of Nearly Everything. Again, don't panic if you don't have this book. If you look at the last line there, I say if you do not have a copy of Bryson, here's a digital scan of the relevant pages. So if you click on that, it'll take you to a little PDF document of the 9 pages that I'd like you to read from this. Once you've read it, there's a little Canvas quiz for you to complete. The link's right there, Bryson Chapter 1 Reading Reflection. If you click on that, it'll take you to a Canvas quiz that's about, I think it's about 5 or 6 questions. You can, of course, have the book open to answer these. You can refer to whatever you need to. Most of them are actually more opinion-based questions based on what you read. So take your time to do the reading and think about it and complete that quiz. Any questions on the homework? Okay, I'll hang out in the classroom if anyone has any individual questions. And otherwise, thank you very much. I hope you have a good rest of your day and a good weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good